Imagine you're talking to a friend who says men built everything. You counter him, but he asks you to name names. What if the reason you can't name 5 women from ancient history isn't because there weren't any? It's because someone kept removing them. Let's start from 2285 BCE. Enheduanna, an Akkadian princess, the first named author in human history. She wrote complex theology, poetry, hymns that shaped an entire religion, used for about 500 years after her death. And then, quietly, her name stopped being taught. Not because her work disappeared, because people who decided what mattered changed. And that raises the first question, because here's what they didn't also write down. Agriculture. The literal reason we stopped dying every winter, most likely developed by women. While men hunted, which was important. Yes, women were out there doing botany before botany had a name. So did men build civilization? Some of it. Absolutely. Genuinely, yes. But civilization was also grown, raised, taught, fed, and held together. It's just that we never built a monument for that. Maybe the question was never who built it. Maybe it was always what counts as building. There's a concept called invisible labor. Monuments, empires, walls, they don't write about what kept builders alive. The food, the children raised, the knowledge passed down in homes, not temples. History has a visibility bias. What gets seen gets credited. What happens in the background gets called natural, gets called instinct, gets called nothing. Jump to Alexandria, 415 AD. The Great Library, the greatest collection of human knowledge ever assembled. Hypatia was its last great scholar, a mathematician and philosopher. She taught men publicly when that alone was considered dangerous. In 415 AD, a mob dragged her from her chariot, killed her, burned her manuscripts. The library never recovered, and with it, centuries of women's scholarship gone. And this is where it stops being history and starts becoming a pattern. Hildegard of Bingen, 12th century, composer, scientist, mystic, so brilliant they called her divinely inspired. The medieval way of saying she didn't do it herself. Marie Curie, only person to win a Nobel Prize in 2 sciences, barred from the French Academy. They gave her the prize, they just won't let her in the room. The word is Damnatio Memoriae. The ancient Romans used it as the ultimate punishment. Chisel the name of monuments, melt the coins, burn the portraits, reserved for the most threatening enemies of the state. Now ask yourself, why did an informal version of this keep on happening to women who were just trying to think? Silence is also a weapon. It just leaves no evidence. You were never bad at history. You were just given an edited version.